Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Daily Cannon Tactics Board. Stephen Bradley here, bringing you the tactical tweaks and quirks that came from Arsenal's lackluster. Maybe that's too strong a word. Dull is definitely a word. 0-0 draw at the Amex Stadium in Brighton to get a 0-0 draw with Brighton yesterday afternoon. Was it a fantastic game to watch? No, let's be perfectly clear. But is it a bad point? No, Brighton are a good side. Are they going to win the league? No, but Graham Potter's a good manager. And over the course of the next 15-20 minutes, I'll show you exactly the sort of traps that Potter was laying in Arsenal's wake, and how Arsenal weren't really able to get their heads round, avoiding them to an extent. They managed to do it once or twice, but Brighton were able to keep, a hold on Arsenal's possession-based game and keep them quiet, and Arsenal in response were just waiting for Brighton to make a mistake, and they didn't make many. So yeah, if now again, we've said this at the start of every video, if you do like these videos, at least this type of video, feel free to leave a like at the end of it. If you want these videos in your inbox on a regular basis, hit subscribe and hit the bell beside it, and you'll get notifications saying you're going to get these videos. We have 1,000 subs. I don't know how. I thank you. Number one, obviously it's a big number hit. It's a milestone. Hopefully the first of many. Fingers crossed. But thanks to everyone who either found the link on Twitter, found the videos on Twitter, found them on dailycannon.com, found them on Reddit, especially r/gunners. Thanks very much. You've started to post the videos, and the subscriber count has almost doubled in 2 months. So thanks a lot to ye especially. And yeah, like I said, we should be in a position where YouTube will allow us to do more with the channel soon. So, hopefully maybe after this video, maybe after the international break, we'll have more news on that. But yeah, hopefully a few extra features to come on the channel in the near future, and it's all thanks to your support. So thanks very much. It's greatly appreciated. It's very encouraging to see those numbers rising. It's more encouraging than watching this game. I won't lie to you, it wasn't great. Look, and most of it was down to Brighton's ability to throw, sugar into Arsenal's petrol. They were just able to make sure Arsenal couldn't build out from the back like they want to or are used to, especially over the last few weeks. And it was done on purpose. Graham Potter is a damn fine coach. And if Mikel Arteta does fail, I suppose is a strong word again, but if he doesn't succeed at Arsenal and Arsenal go, right, we're going to hire Graham Potter, I would not be unhappy. I think he's an excellent coach. He's proved it at Ostersund's and he's proving it here. And the best way I can show is that there were two pressing systems at play here, and one, basically Brighton's, was like a squeeze, and Arsenal's was more of a light hug. Like Brighton's was the kind of hug you get off your grandmother at Christmas when you're 8, and it's come here and it's both hands and you can barely breathe. And Arsenal's was more like the girl that just told you 5 minutes beforehand that she just wants to be friends and gives you a light cuddle and then goes away. Like that's the difference, and both of them were deliberate, and both of them kind of worked in their own way. And the easy way to describe it is Brighton run a lot. Like this, a pressing system like theirs doesn't work without immense work rate from Mopé, Trossard, Gross and Moder. And to illustrate how, if you do watch the game back, if you watch the highlights back, or at least extended highlights back, go watch every time Arsenal had a goal kick, and go watch Aaron Ramsdale just look around and go, I've no one to pass it to, and just bomb it long to Aubameyang, and bomb it long to Smith Rowe, and bomb it long to Saka. And those headers were up against 6'2" Shane Duffy, 6'3" Lewis Dunk, and 6'6" Dan Burn, who would just stand here, and just head it out and bang, and Brighton have the ball back. And we've seen Arsenal try to play it out from the back a lot, but what Brighton do, it's where Brighton want to get the ball back, which is key, because they don't want to press you just to press you. They want to press you in a certain position where they feel they can get the ball back. They want to make sure that you have as few options as possible to get the ball back out to a player when they commit. We've seen teams like West Brom did it, where they just push everyone forward. We've seen Norwich do it, where they pushed 3 or 4 forward. What Brighton do or even Man City when they push 6 or 7 forward. Brighton only commit 3 or 4 at a time, but it's all dependent on where the ball is and who has it. And then they pounce, then they strike, and then you're in trouble. And what happened was this. Every time Ramsdale had the ball, this was from moment 1, we see Arsenal build up the same way. Tierney bombs up the left, as he usually do. Tomiyasu goes right, Gabriel goes here, and Ben White goes here. And Partey will go here. And Arteta knows what Brighton are trying to do. And what Brighton are trying to do is, Brighton want you to give the ball here. They will deliberately leave space. Moder will come here. Trossard will push here, and Mopé will push here. They deliberately want you to pass it here or to pass it here. And here's why. Let's just say, and this happened quite a couple of times, let's just say Ramsdale gives it to Gabriel and Gabriel gives it to Tierney. As soon as that happens, the moment Tierney gets the ball, Mopé will run here and Gross will run here. And now he's stuck. And now Tierney has a problem. And he's got 3 lads around him and he can't get it out. And he will either have to just lash it out as quickly as he can or try and play it off a lad to maybe get a throw. Those are his 2 options. If it goes right to Tomiyasu, same happens. Cucurella, Moder and Trossard come in. And suddenly he's trapped in the same place. And what Brighton are trying to do is they're trying to funnel you in almost into a corner. They're trying to trap you in a little square of space where you can't get the ball out. It goes out for a throw, and then they can build up from the throw in. That's what they're trying to do all game. They're trying to lull you into a sense of false security where it's like, okay, we're going to knock it round to the back, and then it goes out to our right back, and then, there's 3 of them. And sometimes Lallana will join in, and Mopé will cover across as well, and Gross will come in, and Tomiyasu will look around and go, oh no, what's wrong, and clear it. And he did it a couple of times. He actually did it once to Saka, and Saka nearly got in because it went over Burns' head. And Saka got in, and Aubameyang hit the post with a header. Like, sometimes you get lucky. But this is what Brighton do. And again, it takes a hell of a lot of running, because if Tomiyasu can turn his back, get it back to White, who can get it back to Gabriel or to Lokonga, then all of these players now have to get all the way back here to do the same thing, to try and get them here. And what it does is 2 things. One, it makes all your players around here rather skittish, because they know what's coming and they don't want to be the person at fault. So when Gabriel has Tierney here, or when Ben White has Tomiyasu here, they pause because they're like, should I take the easy pass here? You know, it's almost like a mouse looking at a little bit of Nutella on a mouse trap. He's like, should I stick my head in? Should I just get, because they know as soon as that goes in, that's a trigger for the Brighton midfield to go 1 and 2. And that's always in your head. And because you're now thinking, I can't pass it there, it's just that a second of pause that suddenly means that Ben White is now dawdling, so to speak, off the ball. Moder then goes, right, okay, now I can press here. Mopé can press here. Now Ben White has to clear it again. And again, it's Saka, Smith Rowe and Aubameyang against 3 giants. And it's that constant worry, it's that constant threat that the Brighton pressers put in your head that screws up your passing. Because now you're rushing a pass. Now instead of it going here, it might go here out for a throw. Now you're like, you see Moder coming. You're like, right, I'm going to clip this over the head to Partey. Sometimes it'll work, most times it won't. And Arsenal never really found a way around this. Like, what they tried to do was, at some point, at least 15 minutes in, they basically moved Lokonga to left back when they were building up the ball. Remember when Xhaka played left back for a month? And this is exactly what he would do. And then what Tierney would do, Tierney would bomb on forward, trying to basically make space here. But what would happen is, Lokonga would go here, Gross would go here, Smith Rowe would now come back, and Duffy would go there. But now Lallana is like, well, okay, now I can come in. Because as long as Gross is there, as long as I'm here, he's not going to get the ball out. Mopé comes in and same problem. So what Arsenal found themselves doing again and again was almost launching long balls down the wings to Saka through the middle, because their only out ball was the long ball to Aubameyang. And occasionally it worked. You know, this is one of those games where if you'd known, if Aubameyang was slightly better at holding up the ball, Brighton's press would have been immediately, made moot. It would have been made useless, because what would have happened was Odegaard would have pushed up from a goal kick. If Aubameyang was better at winning the ball, you'd just lump balls up to Aubameyang all day. Like, if this was Lukaku, suddenly these players cannot push forward like this and get forward, because, if he can hold up the ball, he's now got 3 out balls. So, and occasionally when Aubameyang did hold up the ball, he'd win it here, knock it to Odegaard, who'd knock it to Smith Rowe, and yes, it was 4-on-3. And Arsenal did create a couple of chances of this, especially in the first half. And it was only when Aubameyang won a ball in the air that they were able to create these chances. Now, maybe you say, well, maybe you can't do it more. They tried. It's why Arsenal's pass, what's the word? Efficiency was so low. It was like 75, 76%, because they found themselves so many times staring this trap in the face and going, well, we're not playing into that. If they played to party, then Moder and Gross would go, okay, we'll just sit in the middle. And then you're there, and then suddenly he's looking around and going, well, what do I do? It's why Odegaard was taken off after an hour. Because he was looking around going, where do I stand? What do I do? Where do I go? Can I get in? Because he was like trying to figure out some way of linking play between here and here, but all he was able to do was always get in the space here, and Moder was like, well, okay, now Lallana's going to go in here, and now you got the same problem. So Arsenal decided after a while that their press was going to involve stopping Brighton from getting the ball off them. And how you do that is you let Brighton have the ball. It's slightly counterintuitive, but basically what they did was Smith Rowe, Aubameyang, Saka, and Odegaard, and it'd be basically like this. And Partey and Lokonga would push up, and they would let Brighton have the ball in around here. We can go to our good old friend the heat map. You can see we're there, right? So they'd have it here, and Aubameyang would saunter over. It was almost like this at times. Aubameyang would saunter over to Burn. Burn would then give it to Dunk, because Saka and Smith Rowe are trying to prevent this ball here. He'd go to Dunk, Aubameyang would go here. Go to Duffy, Aubameyang would go here. Smith Rowe would push up. But what Brighton found again and again was that this ball was on from Duffy to Gross, and this ball was on because Saka would be here, and Odegaard would be basically trying to get across, trying to mark both Lallana and Moder, and it wasn't working. So, Burn would look at Odegaard and go, right, if he's that side, I'll give it to Lallana, who was there. Basically, Odegaard's got 2 men to cover. And if he was there, Burn would go down this way. If he was there, Burn would go there. And then Lallana would drive, and then suddenly it's this. And Arsenal did that because of a philosophy called bend, don't break. Now, if you're an American football fan, like I am, a bend, don't break defense entails of giving the offense a little bit, but only enough so that it doesn't actually cause you any harm. American football, you've got 4 downs to get 10 yards. You've got 4 chances with the ball to get 10 yards. If you don't get the 10 yards, you give up the ball where you lost it. So what defenses will do in this bend, not break defense, they will give up 2 yards, 3 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards, all the way until they get close to close to their own end zone, and then they'll defend really stoutly, keep the offense at arm's range. Offense either has to kick a field goal or try a risky play on their own 4th down. It's time consuming and you're waiting, but the reason why you do it is because you want the ball in certain areas. You know that they are dangerous when they get the ball where they want it, and you don't want them to have it there. And if we go back to the heat map, guess where Brighton want the ball? Right there. They want it in the right wing. They want it all the way down here where Gross, can play little 1-2s with Veltman. Lallana can come in. And then if you look at where they've got a lot of the ball there, both Trossard, Moder and Cucurella would be ended up here trying to basically all get into the back post. And Maupay would sit there as well. It's how, Maupay got his overhead kick chance there. And with 5 minutes to go, when they did finally get in on the back, past the back line, Ramsdale makes a great save to stop Maupay from getting the ball and makes it 1-0. But Arsenal were like, those were the 2 times they'd worked in the game. Arsenal were like, fine, if you want the ball here, that's fine. If you're going to throw in crosses again and again, we're going to back our team. We're going to push Lokonga here. We're going to put Partey here. Tomiyasu's going to come in. And we're just going to be nice and tight. And we're going to wait. Because we don't want to get the ball here. We don't want to trap you here with 3 players, then you knock it out for a throw. It's no good to us. That's not what Arsenal want. Arsenal want to get the ball here. So they want, basically, Lokonga will come in here, give Tierney a bit of help. Gross looks around. Veltman looks around. Right, okay, we now have to give it back to Lallana. Then Partey will press. Then Lokonga will get back in. Then Odegaard will get back in. They want it here. Because if they get it here, now they can strike. Now Saka can burn. Can try and burn. A very unintended pun, but I will take it. And they can break with speed. And every time they did get the ball back, Brighton took 1 page out of the Pep Guardiola defensive book and just fouled them. Pulled them back, tripped them, whatever. Didn't matter. Moder was fantastic at it, frankly. And it was this cat and mouse game that was going all game, which leads you to heat maps where Brighton can have a loss of the ball even as deep as here. Because Arsenal are so deep, whether it be either off a corner or a cross or wherever, Arsenal are often like this. And Cucurella would be wide right, would be wide left. Let me get him in. There he is. Moder will be trying here as well. Gross and Veltman will be trying to spread them out a bit. And Arsenal are like, nope. We don't care. We're going to try and get the ball here. We want the ball here so we can break. And all game, it was basically reliant on who was going to get the ball first. Either Saka or Gross and Veltman down here. And they both had half chances. They both had ways of, getting past their fullbacks. But none of them really had a big effect on the game. Every time a decent cross went in, it was very well dealt with both Gabriel and White. Off the odd corner, Dunk had an opportunity where, Ramsdale dropped the ball, but Ramsdale got absolutely clattered from the side by Shane Duffy. There's no way that would have been given as a goal with VAR. Duffy was free off a bad corner, basically, and he hit inside net. But that was it. Every other time, Brighton might have had 21 shots. But these are all headers. And these are all long shots. Like 1.16 XG of 21 shots is not very good. It's like 0.05 a shot. Which is, 5% chance of it going in. Arsenal's is not much better, let's be clear here. But when you see that 4 of them are here, if I click on it, 0.3, 0.03, 0.04, 0.01 Thomas Partey, and then 0.03, these are not good shots. 0.03, 0.03, 0.03, 0.03, 0.05, 0.07, 0.05, 0.07, 0.05. These are not good shots. Yes, they're close, but they're highly contested. There's a lot of bodies in the area when these shots have been taken. They're not good shots. So, whilst the stat sheet will say Arsenal had 8 shots and Brighton had 21, the reality is Brighton didn't really have a good chance until 5 minutes apart from away from full time, and Ramsdale got in the way of the cross. And Arsenal really only had one significant break, and that was when Aubameyang was able to hold up the ball from a break, Saka to Aubameyang, and then Smith Rowe in. Saka bombs down the right, and it's 3-on-2 almost. Well, 2-on-2 even. And Dunk does brilliantly to make sure that Smith Rowe can't get the ball in here. Dunk does brilliantly. You can watch it back. He does not give him an angle to either pass the ball to Saka, who would have a very, very easy chance, or run in a straight line. Dunk almost just guides him ever so slightly. And Smith Rowe does well to get the ball past him and get a good shot off. But if you told, Lewis Dunk from here and Smith Rowe is here running at him with Saka off on his bike down this way, that the best shot Smith Rowe could get was from here, with Dunk tackling them, they would have taken it. It's the fact that in this game especially, taking Aubameyang out and bringing on Lacazette maybe 10-15 minutes earlier would have been the play, because Lacazette is so much better at that hold-up play. He's so much better at bringing Dunk with him, bringing the centre-back forward, leaving it 2-on-2 instead of 3. Getting that space behind whilst everyone else is desperately trying to get back. It's not perfect, Arsenal's performance, but it's one of those situations where sometimes you just take the point. Sometimes a team is in good form, like Brighton are. Sometimes they execute their plan really well. Sometimes you just tip your hat and you go, fine. Conditions were brutal. Both teams playing in absolute lashing rain. I don't think this is one of those bad points. It's going to be interesting to see what Arsenal do if they come up against this sort of trapping system again, because teams will look at it. They'll see how uncomfortable Arsenal were made to play. Like I said, look at how little Arsenal have the ball in there. It's barely yellow. Here's their last game away from home against Brighton. Look how much they were able to get the ball here, pass it, go wide, pass it, go wide. Against Brighton, they were scared of passing it wide because they were scared of this. They were scared of getting caught. So it's going to be interesting over the international break. 16 days now until Arsenal play again. But see how Arteta not fixes this, but comes up with a way of maybe just tweaking a couple of things. He said it wasn't the brightest performance today. I don't think he was wrong. I think in a couple of positions like Odegaard, like Lokonga, who are still getting used to the way Arsenal are playing, there needs to be a little bit more intelligence about where to be in certain positions. We saw Ramsdale again and again screaming at players, don't be there, don't be there, be there, be there. And this is just one of those results where you take the draw. It's a 0-0, you didn't lose, you move on. So, yeah, happy days. If you did like this video, feel free to leave a like at the bottom. If you did see anything that I've missed, leave a comment on below. We've got, I say this time and again, I don't think I'm giving any of you credit, a superb burgeoning community of people who are very, very passionate about, talking tactics and, analysing games and discussing, especially calling me out on my mistakes. I got Ndombele and Ali mixed up in the third goal for Arsenal against Tottenham last week, so my bad. I'm not perfect, and this isn't in any way to suggest that I could be, but that's the whole point of these videos. Sometimes I will learn from it as well. So please feel free, if you've seen anything, leave it down in the comments, and either I or someone in the comments will go, really? Are you sure? Or, oh wow, I didn't see that. Leave you a like and give you the pat on the back you deserve. This is none of the people that talk here are trying to be smart arses or trying to be one up each other. It's a respectful community that we're building here. One rule only. Don't say anything that you wouldn't say to a person's face, or at least in a pub. Simple as. 0-0. Didn't lose in this 4-group break. Maybe things are getting better. Who knows? We'll see you next time. Cheers.